OD Green, Desert Tan, bands or no bands. I'm Mark from SoCal Tactical Airsoft. And today we're here at the world famous Tac City in Fullerton, California, and we're going to be doing Off the Field episode 2. I know some of the best conversations in Airsoft happen at your local field, just kind of hanging out, at your favorite retailer, just hanging out, talking in the parking lot. So we're here to share some of those conversations. I have Brain Exploder. I have Brain Exploder. If you guys haven't seen Brain Exploder's videos, definitely go check him out. World famous, and he's the owner of.
World famous today.
You call me Brain Exploder though.
Hey,
That's
you guys are
famous.
both Brain Exploder. And he has Brain Exploder Creations, and the owner of Brain Exploder Creations, and we have Sonny, the owner of Tac City. And if you guys haven't heard of these dudes, I don't know where you guys have been. So,
Hi, Mom.
so how are you guys doing? Thank you for coming.
Good.
All right, so today we're going to be talking a lot about YouTube's relationship, or I guess social media as a whole, and its relationship with Airsoft, the pros and the cons. All right, so Sonny, as I've been hanging out at Tac City,
Okay, go ahead.
as I've been hanging out at Tac City for the past few years, I've always sat next to people that are from Maine or from Ireland, or some guys are from Japan. As a park owner, how does it feel to have a park that's on everyone's Airsoft bucket list?
Humbling when I hear things like that. I don't really. That's not necessarily in my mindset day to day, but times like this, it kind of brings to the forefront, and I'm kind of humbled by it, kind of amazed, like, wow, how do they know about us, right?
Yeah.
So, to your point, social media.
Yeah,
For sure.
It's definitely a destination when people come to SoCal.
It's
a few fields around here, but Tac's definitely, especially indoor, that's number one with a bullet.
Yeah.
It's the place to go.
Yeah.
And Brain Exploder, over time, you've changed the way reviews have been done. From you have guys just sitting in their kitchens with little kids running around in the background. What was it like developing your style of doing reviews?
Well, it's funny enough that we're Tac. The first thing I think I did was the TM870 when I first got it, and I used it here because it made perfect sense, shotgun CQB.
Yeah.
But my whole thing is, everybody does reviews and they always skip the part that matters, and that's using the gun. They'll go chrono the thing.
The
they'll
box
do
looks nice.
Yeah, box looks
Yeah.
which who cares? That's going straight to the trash. They'll do the rate of fire test, and it's like, that's all good and all, but if the gun's impractical, it's uncomfortable, the ergonomics are off.
Yeah.
It's just a bad gun. It has to be part of it. So to me, though, I could do an unboxing, but I don't get a true feel for the gun till I field it. So that was the idea, is kind of do in-field reviews, because really that's sort of the end all to all reviews. You can shoot great, have an amazing FPS, but if the accuracy sucks, that's another gripe of mine, is nobody ever talks about accuracy. It's the only thing that matters with your gun. Your rate of
BBs
fire
on
could be
target.
30 rounds per second, but they're all going every which direction except where you're shooting. What matters?
Everything comes down to the BBs hitting their target, and
That's it.
how that happens.
Yeah.
Backtrack from there, right?
Exactly.
Not
So-
the box looks nice, the instructions are clear, it comes with this kind of packaging. Anytime I see a video that says the unboxing of, I just skip it.
Yeah, I'm done.
Because half that video or more of it is irrelevant. Like you
Yeah.
said, it's about the actual use of the gun.
Yep.
Not how pretty the packaging is, if it's in different languages.
Yeah.
Who reads the instructions anyways, right?
Exactly. Especially if it's in the AG, you just figure out where
I
to
don't
plug in
speak
the
Chinese.
batteries,
Put the
you're
battery
done. Yeah, that's it.
My favorite part of reviews like that is when it's like, here's the BBs that you get from the manufacturer. You're gonna want to throw those away. It's like,
Yeah.
thank you.
Exactly.
And so using your YouTube fame and doing YouTube for a long time, you founded Brain Exploder Creations. Can you talk about that a little bit?
Yeah, that comes out of necessity. It's like everything on that website, which if you don't know, it's like 3D printed stuff, the little accessories, stuff that big guys don't really want to deal with because it's so specific. It'll be something
Kind
like
of falls through the cracks sometimes.
yeah, it's not enough for them to go and cut molds for and do a whole big development on, because it's going to be such a small market. But there is a market, and for me it was always like, oh, I need this part because whatever gun needs a rail or whatever gun needs a holster or something like that. And then I build it on my own, develop it, and then since it's already done, I throw it up on my website, and it's printed by Shapeways. Anyone can order it.
Yeah.
So it was just drove itself because I needed it, I made it, and might as well share it and make some profit off of it, and that's how it all worked out.
Simple.
There you go.
Yeah.
So before we get too deep into our topic, talking about all the intricacies of YouTube and Airsoft, can we talk about real fast how you guys got into Airsoft? I know it's a very big question,
Jeez.
but
Wanna
we do
start?
have
I
time.
probably have a more traditional path than Sonny because
Yeah.
I've started as a player. For me, it was like kind of the natural evolution from video games. It was like, well, this is fun, but I want to do it for real, but not for real, for real.
Yeah.
Like mid-real. So
Mid-real.
so I was like looking into it, and obviously that to me the big appeal of airsoft is the realistic replicas, because there's always paintball. Everyone's aware of that, but then you're like, do I want to go out there and be kind of running around, getting all filthy and wearing
There's no
I don't know what.
Realism in, I shouldn't say that.
I mean, there is like mag-fed paintball, but I don't think that even existed. I don't
Everything
know.
looks like space guns. Doesn't look realistic.
Everything's just
The
functional.
proportions are off.
Which that's another
Different
topic
purpose.
you could do on airsoft. Is the whole argument right now of function versus form in airsoft,
Yeah.
sort of. Some people are pushing for it. Let's just make the best working airsoft versus the best, the one that looks
Looking.
like whatever it's supposed to look like. But that's a whole other topic. But that's what drew me in, is the realism.
Yeah.
And then I think that was around, like mid 2000s. So I started playing, friends on and off. And then I did actually start. I have my first YouTube video up in like 2007, which YouTube was like 8 minutes old and nobody watched it, and the audio was
So what
terrible.
was it? Was it like a gun-mounted camera or something? Or?
I like rigged up a camera mount. It was like some underwater diving camera. It was terrible, but it was the only thing small enough to actually like, fit on the helmet.
You film games, basically.
Yeah, but it sounded terrible. It was like 480p is the resolution. It sounded like I was shooting like a freaking buzz off the wheel. Like, brr, the audio was unusable.
How many views do you have? Like 10 now?
I think that one actually probably has like 10,000 views or
Yeah,
something. Well, I mean,
There
it was
you
like at that point it was like, I don't know, 50 airsoft videos maybe on YouTube. So it just got viewed by default. It was still decent
It was
enough.
part of
to
the
get-
routine, the 10 video
Yeah,
thing.
if you searched airsoft, it probably came up on the first
The
two
Airsoft
pages.
playlist.
That's funny.
Anything you put up. So I did that, and then YouTube wasn't really a big thing, so I just did it on and off whenever I felt something like it and I had something to put up. And then I kind of almost like took a break because it was just a hobby for me. So if I didn't feel like it, I didn't play it. And then it kind of researched. I remember seeing Jet's videos, Level Cap, and I'm like, whoa, these guys are playing like where I'm playing. They'd be in Tac City. They'd be in new fields nearby. I'm like, I could do this. I was doing it already.
hard
It
can
looks
this
like
be,
there's
right?
now like actual equipment that works in the field, like GoPros and stuff. So I kind of got back into it, and it's just it's a passion, and I do it when I get inspired. I try not to force it, because I feel like when you force stuff, you get kind of crappy content. So that's why sometimes it's a little sputtery. I don't have a schedule. It's just okay. I feel like it. I'm excited. I got good gameplay. I got good
Keeps
footage.
it fresh and fun for you, though, right? I mean,
Yeah,
like,
it's a hobby.
structured and
Exactly. I'm not trying to just force 2 videos out no matter what. It's Tuesday. I got to put out a video. And it's me like just talking about some
that's the way it should be. I think that's the way probably most YouTubers start.
Yeah, it's
I don't
always
know about
starts out of
nowadays,
passion.
but
At this point, some people might be like, okay, they go into do this analytics and like, hey, this guy's making like a couple grand a month. If I could do
that.
Yeah, but I don't think if you have a passion, it'll come through too. People really can.
It's like we were
can
talking
see through
earlier
that.
about your whys and what motivates you to do something, right? Mm-hmm. Well, his seems like your motivation was heartfelt and kind of what makes you happy, not
definitely a
monetary or anything else besides that.
Yeah, all that stuff. I mean, when you do it so much, you're like, well, I'm already putting so many hours into it. Maybe I could actually make some business out of it while I'm here, since I know it so well. Like, I was talking to my friend yesterday about developing products, and I'm like, I couldn't just go into like the surfboard industry and start developing. I don't know anything about it. I'm like, you guys need fins, you need wax. Like, I don't know. But here, every product. So when I think I need like a speed loader or something, I'm like, okay, there's this, there's that, there's that. Well, can I do one that's better? Can I do an adapter for something?
How can I improve upon it?
Yeah, but I don't have to go and deep dive and research and try to find a niche. I know the niche because I'm looking for it. I'm trying to fill it myself. So being that deep in the sport gives you an advantage when you try to start a business or whatever, like side hustle type stuff. And so I've kind of combined playing with some developing, and it's just one big pile of airsoft guns, video games. I don't know. I love it, but it's confusing when you tell anyone about it, because they're like, "What? How?"
I'm glad that you've been able to find your balance though between like actually like putting up videos and like manufacturing product. Because I know myself, like being a teenager and starting at 10, like there's so many phases that you go through in life, and especially you said you've been playing for like 12, 13 years.
Yes, whatever it is, like mid 2006 or something. So
if
it's
you,
coming
like,
up.
to be playing that long, like you have to keep it fresh.
Yeah.
It's like I want to post every day. I don't want to just like sit at home and edit all the time.
Yeah, it's
but
weird for
I'm
me.
gonna burn out of it.
Every time I get like a new gun, I always think this is the one that's gonna make
one
me
that's gonna-
super great.
Yeah.
And it pretty much never is, but I still have that hope. Like, I just started playing where I'm like, oh, okay, I got this one. Oh, it's got the electronic trigger. that's probably what I was missing this whole time. Is I didn't have that sweet trigger response. And then, of course, you go out there and you get dumped on, and you're like, okay, wasn't a trigger. Let me see. Let me try this now. And
It's so funny.
It's like you go play.
This is
then
the
you
gun
go
that's
shop.
gonna make me great.
And you go play, then you go shop, and then. But that for me, that keeps it interesting. I'm like, oh, let me try this type of hop up. Let me try this. Let me try this barrel. And
That's gonna put me over the top.
yeah, that's every single thing
If I
about
had
it is
the
the one
perfect
that's
hop
gonna
up,
push
that's
me over
gonna
the
do
top.
it. Okay, now what? Right?
Exactly.
It's the barrel.
But that's the drive. It's sort of like, will I get that perfect gun? And it's always.
In search for a perfection.
Yeah, it never gets there,
Like,
but that's half the fun.
I remember a single friend of mine said it was like kind of like single guys are like going to the altar, ready to get married, and saying their vows, and before they say like, wait a minute, time out, I didn't see her. It's kind of like that.
Yeah.
They're searching for that perfect gun, like
Yeah.
in like that scenario.
I
There's
envy
no-
people that just have that one gun and just
Yeah.
go and play, and they know it in and out. They know every little quirk because I just keep jumping around.
I used to be that guy when I played paintball. I was the guy that stuck with what worked and just
Just
okay,
perfection.
check,
And
I don't, not even perfection, just it worked for me and dependable, and I checked that box and put my focus on other things.
Yeah.
gear or something else.
Me for me, I always in a lot of the videos that we do, I always talk about my paintball days because that's kind of where my background came was paintball. But
Is that also 10 years ago?
geez, paintball, like I think the last time I played in a tournament was like 2000, and then I think I played a couple times since then I think I played Decay of Nations one year
Yeah.
and a few other things.
You're still doing it, huh?
I did like twice in like 10 years.
I think it's still going to this day.
DK,
I always,
yeah, absolutely.
I would see those ads from SC.
Yeah. Completely different though. We don't should me get into paintball too deep here, but
No, go for it.
yeah,
I think that's a lot of people's background, though, so it makes sense.
there's a lot of
Or people on the
crossover.
fence, they're like, oh, I want to try this, but is it
Yeah.
just like totally different community?
Especially indoor. Indoor, we seem to attract a lot more of the paintballers because it's more intense and faster paced.
Yeah.
I think some there's some paintballers that are rec paintballers.
Yeah.
Much like the
Mill Simmers?
Decay Nation type, I think big maps and terrain and whatnot. But then even within paintball, there's tournament paintballers, which would be the equivalent to like Speak QBers and Airsoft. Same sport, yet different styles, different types of gear, different desires, different kind of, some guys are more athletic than the other guys that are wearing hydration packs
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
big bellies or whatever.
So Milsim?
Yeah, I would say that. I mean, in
No,
general,
it's
we're
true.
generalizing, of course, not everyone, but yeah,
No,
yeah. If you were to put a prototypical, Speak QB and a Milsim or
Well, I think that's what attracts you to either style is. Do you want to run at your max peak, or do you want to kind of take it easy, maybe get in a good position, take some long shots?
I think Speak QB is very, I'm looking for the word frenetic, just very, everything's so fast paced and things are going on where Milsim might have those moments, depending on the terrain or if it's inside a house or whatever, but for the most part it's very, there's a lot of build up
Yeah.
moments, right?
Yeah.
Where in Speak QB it's like game on and
Yeah.
and it may seem like it's just total chaos, but within that chaos there's strategy and communication and skill and just a different skill set compared to Milsim,
Definitely.
which almost every social media post out there has to do with Milsim, which is better, Milsim
Yeah.
or Speak QB, blah 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 blah. Well, who has to be better?
Yeah.
That's a different place. It's
I think
whatever.
that's the thing with Milsim though, is it's like the iPhone isn't really that great, but because you waited 11 hours for it, it's the greatest thing on the planet all of a sudden. And so like if you're out there and it's like a 72-hour event and you're on your 71st hour and
yeah.
a guy pops up, this is what you've been living for your whole life.
And then you miss him,
And then you walk back
What
to
is-
spawn.
yeah, your
100
battery's
miles.
dead.
or you shoot him and the guy doesn't call his hits.
I mean,
That's the
I couldn't
thing.
handle.
Yeah.
I couldn't handle that buildup. I need to shoot somebody or get shot now.
Yeah.
One way or another, that's
Keep it
fine.
moving.
But yeah, keep it moving. Whether I shoot you or vice versa, I don't care. But something needs to happen now. I'm not here. Otherwise, I'm just gonna go hiking
well, that's
without carrying a
Yeah.
plastic gun.
Gonna go regular camping instead of airsoft
Yeah.
camping.
back to your story.
Yes.
I wasn't much of a gear guy. I'd have gear that was up. Obviously we have sponsors or whatnot. I'd have gear that was updated, of course. But once I clicked into certain types of gear, there's a comfort level with my gear, right? And as long as it worked and whenever I checked that box in my head, Okay, done, right? I wouldn't get bells and whistles add on, whatnot. Some nice sponsors would give me stuff, but I use them during practices to test it out before I go to a tournament. Never, for anybody who competes in any sport, don't test things out in competition.
No,
Ever, right?
That is a guaranteed way to have a
No matter how much they pay you, how much they give you free, don't ever do that.
Well, that kind of, I have a sort of a side question.
Yeah.
Speaking of social media, how do you get sponsors pre-2000? You know, before everything,
Yeah, that's
everybody
true.
knows everyone everywhere. You have to like go talk to actual humans or what?
Communicate to humans? What? That's new. No, seriously, yeah. I mean, I'm sure it still applies in a lot of cases where sponsors are looking for the top teams and players. But I had this discussion that day with some vendors where it's not necessarily the best people, the best teams that they're looking for. It's the most visible people and players, teams. And a lot of times that coincides with the top team is most visible because they're showing up at all the tournaments and winning. It's visibility. That's what vendors and sponsors are looking for.
It's return on investment.
It's not necessarily the best, right?
If there's a guy that's the best airsofter, but he's never puts out any
Exactly.
social media
So-
content, what use is
So
that?
I'll give you an example
focused on playing.
as far as like sponsors, right? Say there's a circuit of tournaments and there's 10 in a season, and one team shows up to 5 of them and wins first place, hands down, just dominates everybody, first place 5 times. And there's another team that shows up to all 10 and comes in 4th place.
Yeah.
The sponsor would rather go to the team that's going in 4th place because they're showing up to 10 tournaments. It's not about coming first, but because at first they only have the exposure of 5 tournaments. The other team has 10 tournaments they're exposed in their brand name. I go with that guy.
Yeah. You always go for the guys that are in the
It's
field.
visibility. A lot of times, hand in hand, it goes with how good you are, but not entirely.
Yeah.
Because a lot of times, I don't know, we're getting on the sponsorship thing, but
No, go for it.
But sponsors, including myself, we always get approached by teams, individuals about, hey, we're this, that, whatever. We'll do this for you, and we're guns a-blazing, whatever. 2 months in, crickets. I can't get 2 guys to show up on a Saturday to shake hands or sign autograph. Nothing, right? They get all. It's always a one-way street. And for those of you that are looking for sponsorship from anybody, know this: that sponsors have been burned time and time again, and have heard every sales pitch there is. You need to walk the walk, and we're looking for visibility and guys that are gung ho for the brand.
Yeah, that's why I think like when you see a lot of guys that just start doing like their YouTube videos for sponsorship, it's one of those things where it's like it's a great idea to like get out there and start doing things. But I realized after I started, like I was like, okay, this is a lot of fun. I want to start playing more, like start making more videos. But it's really, really expensive to have to like go buy BBs and gas, like the little things.
We play that often, yeah.
And so I realized like when I started looking around, it's kind of like, all right, like. It's not that like we have a problem with what you're doing or that you're doing anything wrong. It's just that this guy who might have done other things wrong has been doing it for 20 years. So he's going to be doing it for another 10.
Right.
So you always go with the people, like you said, that like are the most visible, that have been doing it for the longest. You just got to be consistent at the end of the day.
Exactly.
That's when people find you.
Yeah.
Because if you can't be found, then what's the point, right?
Yep.
And so, continuing on with the topic of YouTube and Airsoft, many have benefited, like we were saying, like we all have been playing for good amount of time now and invested in Airsoft. But of course, like there is a bad side of Airsoft, or at least what I consider to be that, which is all of the cheating videos. I'd say since the first person that took out a GoPro out onto a field, there's been cheating, humiliation, not wanting to call your hits because your video will get ruined. And so, Sonny, as a person who is in charge of making the rules and of course banning players, what is that like? Like, what was that like when you first saw videos of people running around like lighting people up all over the field?
You talking about my field or just in general?
In general.
It's just bad for the sport. Now, of course it happens. What I didn't need a video to show me or tell me like, hey, I can't believe this is happening. Of course it happens.
Yeah.
You've seen it live.
Right? Yeah. I mean, we know this happens. There's bad people in the world. I hate to tell you this. Yeah. I hate to burst your bubbles, cupcakes out there. But it didn't really change my view. For instance, sometimes we get sent videos or videos are brought to my attention as far as things that happen at our field. That puts a red flag on certain players and teams, and we'll keep an eye on them. If it happens, we take care of it accordingly. Things happen in other fields, but these players or teams behave themselves here. I have to draw the line somewhere because
Can't
where do I?
ban from a video they
I'm not going to
did
be like
somewhere else.
patrolling social media 24
Yeah.
hours a day and trying to, oh, they went to South Carolina and played their field and did it. Okay, you're banned from Tac City. No.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's like not hiring somebody because they got a traffic ticket or something.
Yeah, I have to
well,
draw
that
the
doesn't
line.
have to do anything with me particularly.
Yeah.
I mean,
Now they might have that capability of being that bad guy or that horrible player, and we'll be aware of that. But as long as they behave themselves within these walls, I'm good with that. That's kind of my threshold. Some people may agree or not agree, but that's the way I look at it.
yeah, you don't have Minority Report situations here where you foresee the future and then somebody gets banned.
I hate to say it, but our weekly managers meetings, a lot of the topics have to do with player behavior, and even though we're known for, among other things, banning players, I kind of take pride in the fact that we will ban if need be. I do not like to ban players. My managers and staff will attest to this, that I really ask a lot of questions when they bring up a certain situation. And my threshold is kind of like almost like a police department. Well, not undeniable proof, firsthand witnesses, the whole 9 yards. We can have suspicions, smoking guns, all that stuff, but unless it's concrete, I don't go down that road.
That's sort of the good part of the videos, I guess. Then that's concrete
Yeah.
proof. It's
In some cases, like, how often you see videos where they talk about cheating and you're looking at the video like, I don't see where the guy's getting hit.
That's the worst.
Because I mean, the BBs are going so fast. How do you can release? Now people always go by the reaction.
Yeah.
Well, people duck and move when they're getting shot around, or that to me that's not concrete. If I were to put a gun in my head and bet that he was, not calling his hits, then okay, maybe.
yeah.
Yeah.
But I'm making decisions based on concrete, not speculation, not
said, she
personal
said.
opinions. And I'll tell you straight out. There's some customers that are regular customers that spend a lot of money here, that are good customers, but annoy the hell out of me. Right? But that doesn't mean anything. Doesn't mean they obey the rules. That's fine. People are people. I annoy people. All right, but that doesn't mean anything. So we get along. That's fine. Right? On the field, off the field, you behave yourselves. These are our rules. We're big on rules. People don't like rules, but there's a lot of people, my customers, that like us because of our rules.
Yeah.
And so we're going to stick to our guns.
I think it's important to have.
Structure. You need some kind of structure. Otherwise, you have anarchy.
Yeah. And no one wants an airsoft anarchy.
Some do. Some have patches that
Definitely
I
no one's going to
guarantee
call
that's
that
a
hits.
team somewhere.
Oh,
Someone look up airsoft.
Listen, that's not
anarchy.
even old. That's not even new. I think paintball even had anarchy. It's not a unique name. How's that?
Yeah.
Well, anarchy. That's different.
Edgy.
It's almost adding tactical to your name. Tactical anarchy.
That was the first. I think that was the first business decision I ever did, because I was at first Southern California
wait.
Airsoft, and I was like, wait, tactical. Now it'll work.
Now people will know we're serious.
Now, see, if I wasn't tactical, no one would watch, right?
So back in the day, we had to worry about what letter your name started with when it popped up in searches
Is
and
it
all that
for
stuff.
the white
Yeah.
pages or something?
Yeah, no kidding.
It's like AAA plumbing.
Yeah.
First, when you look for
Well,
plumbing.
even online, I think for a while, like 10 years ago, so I think that would be a thing
Yeah.
also. But, well.
Now, Brain Exploder, how do you feel as a person who puts pride into their work when you see a video get 10 million views? That's just airsoft player lit up other guy with Polar Star. How do you feel when that video takes off, but you put a ton of work into stuff?
I have mixed emotions because I understand how the world works and how the way people perceive it. And right now we're in a mode where you can only have the best or the worst. There's no middle ground. You can't say this gun's all right. That video, no views. It has to be the worst gun you ever used or the best gun you ever used.
Yeah.
We have 0 or 100. There's no 50 anymore. And that's the same way with politics. I don't want to get into that. But you either one side or the other. You can't for some reason be a rational in the middle person where you're like, I like
I
this
agree
and
with
I like
some
that.
of this, I agree with that.
Yeah, which
No,
is
pick a
actually
side.
what everybody is. I would think if you talk to people, some people like that.
They're not party line guys.
Yeah, no one's 100% this or that, but that's the way it's made out to be. And same comes when you're making the video. It's the best, the worst, the tastiest, the nastiest, whatever. That's how it is.
The est.
So
Est.
that's why it's the worst cheater. It's the worst injury. That's the name
I
of
gotta
the
click
videos.
that. I gotta see if
drive-
this guy's the worst. I gotta be clicking to see this. Right?
Yeah, you want to see the worst. You don't want to see
Curiosity.
the middle ground. So,
Marketing.
So that's just how people think, and people market to that, and then they get clicks, they get views. So if you're in it just to get views, it makes perfect sense that you're gonna make the most watchable video, at least
Yeah.
from the thumbnail. That's all you have to communicate with the person is that tiny little 2 lines of description, the thumbnail,
Give it a click.
and whatever views and likes it already has. People might go, oh, it has like 500,000 views. Oh, let me check this out.
Yeah.
So I understand that's how views are driven and how likes and subscribes, and that all makes sense. But I don't know. I think there's a market of people that don't like that, and it's a much smaller market. But I try to cater more to that and just kind of put up something. Obviously, you want to do something interesting. You don't want to put gun review number 47 as your title. That's
Yeah.
that gives you no information, but
Right.
some general clue as to what it is. Interesting looking thumbnail, and you hope people are like, oh, I'm interested in this gun, or whatever. And
Yeah.
that's enough for them to click and watch it, and you just give your honest opinion. It's probably not the worst gun ever. It's not the best gun ever. It's not the highest FPS of all time. You just give them facts and then let them sort of make up their opinion instead of like driving their opinion. So that's the way I approach it. It's probably not smart for just getting views, getting likes, getting traction. But I've noticed a lot of manufacturers, they respect that. So when they go to choose people, they don't want the best, the worst. Because if you don't end up on the best, you're going to end up on the worst gun list. So they don't want that either or. They want someone who's going to look at it objectively, review it, compare it to something maybe, and then they get an honest review out of it. And it doesn't mean it has to be good, but it'll be honest. And a lot of people come to me, which I don't have nearly as many likes and followers and whatever. There's a lot of other guys out there that they could get in touch with, but I think they like the fact that I'm going to give an honest opinion. It's going to be, just me stating facts, doing tests, whatever, and probably fielding it, which is probably another thing they like about my channel. And that's what they'll get. And so it doesn't necessarily maybe mean you get the most views or likes, but if you're trying to get sponsored, or you're trying to get good contacts with manufacturers or fields or whatever, they like that sort of stuff. They like honesty and integrity in some ways. I guess in Airsoft, integrity is important, which that's the whole sport is based on.
I would imagine, like, say, if you don't have 10 million views from clickbait of the worst, the best, whatever, and say you have 1,000, 10,000, whatever, it's probably safe to say that the views that you get are people that are searching out or searching for a review of that particular item, and they're more valuable. They're not just clicking on for entertainment. They're clicking for information.
You might have 1 million views, but only
they're searching for answers, and if they're searching for answers, then the vendors want to find those people, not the ones that are just kind of casually clicking on for entertainment. At midnight, they're looking for answers for a particular item or insight.
They're
those are the more
considering
valuable
buying
clicks,
it, which is what they're trying to sell. So they're considering buying maybe.
Those are clicking for insight are more valuable than those who are clicking for entertainment.
I assume that's how they view it. So then that's why they reach out to me. Even they could go to guys with way bigger followings and viewership.
Like, for instance, our Instagram, we have, I think last count we had like 21,000 whatever, but there's some other fields that have 70,000, 80,000. But as you guys probably know, you can buy followers, right?
Yeah.
And the telltale sign is that a lot of our posts get like minimum 400 or 500 views to 4,000 views, right? Or these sites that have like 70,000 followers get like 100, 200, 300.
Yeah, those followers don't.
What does that tell you, right? So for us, it's not necessarily the quantity. It's the quantity and who's actually interacting. Same thing with our Facebook page. It's not people. We get a lot of messages going in, a lot of DMs and whatnot. So to the social media aspect, we actually really rely on social media, not just to post information, but to interact. It's got to go both ways. It can't just be post, and okay, done. Like I can have a bot do that.
Yeah.
But we don't.
So I want to get back to that in just a second, but I wanted to ask you one question that it just popped in my mind a little bit ago, and I just wanted to see what you thought about it. I know other parks have banned HPA, and oftentimes I think the tech work that's required to make a gun shoot like 60 rounds per second, 70 rounds per second, is often like it's the 28-year-olds, it's the 29-year-olds, 30-year-olds that are willing to like spend the time, spend the money to work on that gun, but it's so cheap and so easy to be able to pick up a Polar Star or pick up another form of HPA engine. Have you ever thought, as other parks have, of banning HPA or having HPA-specific engines?
Nope. Meaning, excuse me, again, banning is a strong word, right? And so when it comes to equipment, it's equipment. They're inanimate objects. And the first thing we do is try to find how can we regulate it so that we're not limiting our customers to what they want to use or, no, or don't use, right? I don't want to have to limit them on their choices, as long as it doesn't affect other players' safety and the competition. So we always find ways to check, regulate, mark, whatever, before we go down any road of, no, that won't be allowed.
Okay.
Because we just couldn't figure out a way to make it work, right? Years ago, when HPA was just starting to hit the market, this is back when I was in South Amani, and HPA were just hitting our field at that point. They were really new to. You might have like 4 players that might have had the systems, and it was really new, Polestar, and nobody really knew much about it. So what I did is on Facebook, I did a temporary ban. It's so funny. I posted, so we're putting a temporary ban on HPA till we can figure out how to regulate and make sure that they're safe for public play. Simple post.
Smart.
Right? I got so many comments about why are you banning blah 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 this, that, you know, and then there was this argument between HPA players and non-HPA. You don't know what you're talking about, blah, blah.
Of course.
And I was like, guys, temporary. We're just trying to get some answers before we make a decision.
Yeah.
Right? So I invited guys who knew HPA is best, you know, and said, okay, as long as you have this nozzle, whatever, you check here, you mark this, okay. 3 days later, okay, HPA will be allowed. These are our parameters. Done deal.
There you go.
Right?
Yeah.
There's a lot of parks that don't want to deal with it because a lot of times, in general, parks and general pub relate certain types of guns with certain personalities or styles of play. That's like saying people who drive trucks are like this, people who drive Camaros are like this. I mean, it's ridiculous, right? So we rather not ban equipment unless we absolutely have to. We make it work. And one of the things that makes it work for us, and I tell this to the staff every day, is our checks. We do we do random checks on equipment. So in this day and age, when manufacturers are coming out with quick change this and quick change this, where they can do this in like in 3 seconds, whatever, which, yeah, it's great for the players, but field nightmares.
Yeah.
Is a player
You can only
can't.
zip tie so many things.
Yeah, a player can't make an adjustment or hitting a button or do whatever, or turn it off faster and then, can I see your gun for a second?
Yeah.
And do a check right then and there. They
Yep.
can't. And so we do random checks before, after, during, in the middle sets, whatever. And if we spot check you, whether you have a tag or not, and you don't pass it, you're done for the day. So because of that, for the most part, it's under control. We don't have issues with people shooting hot or whatever, right? Because they never know when it's going to be a check. And once we send you home we send you home for any reason, you get sent home again, you're done.
Yeah.
Simple as that. We give you multiple chances. So at that point, we're going to weed out the bad apples as far as personalities or type of players, but it's not the equipment. Because the vast majority of guys that have HPA are fine.
Yeah, cool guys.
They're fine, right? Yeah, there might be some idiots that have HPA, and then someone who encounters this idiot, oh, look, anybody who wears a dye mask or an HPA or wears that glove or whatever is an idiot. Well, no, that's not how it works.
Yeah.
Just because that idiot's choices happen to be whatever he wears, it has nothing to do with his intentions, right? So,
Yeah.
anyways, like I said, we try to regulate everything and anything as best we can. Some things we can't, but HPA is we found to have a pretty good system.
Yeah. That's pretty funny too, because I always think about like a couple of years ago when it was like, oh man, this guy has he has the white or the black dye mask and like the green jumpsuit. So like you would have like all the 12-year-olds not wanting to show up to like the airsoft park because they'd be terrified.
So what happens? The kids go buy a white mask, whatever. I want to be terrified too. I want to be terrifying, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I always thought that was funny. Now, like you were saying, Tac City relies heavily on social media. Do you think that it's possible for the modern airsoft park to exist if it's not for social media?
Exist, yes.
Or to function as it does today?
Profit.
To be profitable or thrive, no. You have to have some social media print of some kind, whether it's as many platforms or just a couple, the right platforms. And what I mean by that is, like I said earlier, not just have a Facebook page set up, okay, we're good, we post like once a week or whatever. You need to interact.
Yeah.
They want to. Social media is the first part of it. Social. You need to interact. It's not just media. right? That's called a website.
Yeah.
Social media is to interact, answer back and forth. They see updated information. They see relative information. That's the key. But a lot of pages you'll see post once a month. Well, there's some fields that have been around for a long time, and they might have an Instagram page of 1,000 people. Well, why is that? Well, because you look at how many posts they post, when they post, what they're posting.
Yeah.
It shows they really don't care. They're just doing it. They're just going through the motions. We actually depend on it.
Yeah.
It's when everybody had. Just remember when social media first kind of came to the forefront, and that nobody knew what it was, but everyone thought they had to be on it, and you had like.
I don't want to miss out.
Here's a social media for like, I don't know, like wrenches or something. Like companies that have they're like, you check out our Pinterest. You're like, Pinterest?
What?
For like, I don't know, coveralls or something. Like, what am I supposed to do with this
Yeah.
website? There's some random stuff, but everyone's just, get on it.
Yeah.
It's the hot new thing. Get your name. And then it's just.
I don't want to be left
sits there
behind.
dead.
Now what do I do?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So some people are still figuring out what to do with it. I think you gotta have a web presence. I mean, social media is sort of step 2. You gotta have a website where at least people could go figure out your hours, whatever waiver, your
Basic
rules.
stuff,
No one
yeah.
wants to show up
Waivers,
somewhere because these are usually journeys. You don't just walk out of your house and go to the airsoft. It's not like going to Starbucks where you're like, oh, well, I
And
wasted
Airsoft for most
5
people
minutes.
is such unknown territory too. It's not like they're just going to, a restaurant. Well, I've been to a restaurant. Let me get
Yeah.
particulars.
Worst case scenario, go to the one next door. This is like you're driving somewhere 30 miles. You're
We're gonna
packing
get
gear
shot?
for 2 days.
There's waivers. What's going on here?
And you show up and you're like, oh, we're closed on Sundays. Oh, this is awesome. This just wasted my whole day. Woke up early, drove far. Like you have to have a web presence at the minimum, and then social media might make it easier for someone to go, do I want to try it out? You might ask some question. That's kind of a dumb question, but the field responds to it, and you're like, oh, they're cool. They took the time to like answer
Are you guys open today? Yeah, we're
it's
okay,
it's
but I'll
something
answer
that
it.
exactly. But they're like, okay, they're willing to spend the time on me, so they'll probably be nice in person as well.
Yeah.
And that kind of gives them a good
They're
impression.
forgiving.
Yeah. So I think in that sense, it definitely helps to entice players when they see it's an active place and it's there's actual correspondence back and forth.
Yeah, that's always been my greatest fear is like when I go out like there was a time where I was just trying to hit every park in California. And so you have some of the
You've
parks.
seen a lot of differences.
Yeah. So like you go to some of the parks and it's like, all right, let's just hope this place exists on Earth. Like
That's the
still,
first thing.
let's hope
right?
it's there.
They exist.
Because you have so many parks that just rely on their closest neighborhood. And that's great, but I think a lot of people, like you were saying, they kind of got left behind and they forgot that Airsoft is now worldwide.
Oh, yeah.
Like if a person in France is like, all right, I want to go hit like 8 or 9 Airsoft parks while I'm in this state. It's like, well, good luck finding 3 of them.
Yeah.
Where it's like, there's a couple where it's like, all right, you're going to hop in that
We're
one.
open 2 Saturdays a month.
Yeah.
What Saturdays are they, right?
It's like, all right, we're only open on Sundays from 5 to 1.
Every other Sunday on the 3rd week of the,
That's how they all used to be.
On
I
the
remember SC
solstice.
Village was like every second Sunday, and the HSP was like every first Sunday. You had to do like one of those white
doing
boards
calendar
where,
math.
where you have all the numbers flying through your head just to figure out what day you could go there.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like, as soon as people were able, like, all the parks that are half paintball, half airsoft,
Yeah.
once they were finally able to really take the airsoft side seriously,
Yeah, and it was
I think
every
that's
day.
when it flourished.
Commit
Yes.
to it.
Yeah, it's like if I want to go play on a Friday night, I should be able to find at least 5 other people
Yeah.
that want to go play somewhere. And I think, like you were saying, like, due to social media, and like at Tac City, I always know when Tac City's doing this. You guys do a great job with the online calendar.
Thank you.
It's like there's been many days where it's like, oh, am I gonna go? And it's like, oh no, they have a tournament today, but I'll go tomorrow because it says that they're open. So I've always thought that was a very important thing. Now, Brain Exploder,
Yo.
I don't know if I could say this for myself, if I'd be still playing if it wasn't for YouTube as a whole. Do you think after this long that you would still be playing Airsoft if you never got into filming?
No, I don't think so. It's for me at this point, Airsoft. It's not actually going and playing. Honestly, it's going and hanging out with my friends and playing. I mean, that's sort of the reason to go, and then go hang out at the restaurant and then tell whatever made up war stories how you hit everyone.
Everybody cheats and I shot everybody.
Yeah, every BB landed, nobody called their hits.
Of course.
But to me, that's like the main motivation now is just the social part of it, I guess. And most of the people I play with, I honestly met them through like Instagram or YouTube or whatever. They'd be posting, and then like I'd then meet them at the field, and you get talking, and then you're like, oh, well, let's go over here next time.
Yeah.
And like pretty much every person I play with, I didn't know them prior to Airsoft. I know them through Airsoft, and then we just pick a day and we go and we play. And
Yeah.
for me, that's like the main motivation now. So definitely in that sense, social media is way lasted the sport longer than it would have otherwise. I'd probably move on to something else, maybe some hobby that is more social, but
Start that surfboard business.
that's
right.
right. You guys need fins? That'll be the
Dude, I need
slogan.
some wax and fins.
Wax and fins. So yeah, it's huge, and it just keeps it going. And it's like I sort of like a different part of the sport than what drew me to initially. Initially, I wanted to play and go shoot. Now it's like, well, we'll go do that while we hang out. So that's sort of how it works for me now.
I feel you on that.
I love
Because
that.
at this point, it's like, it's gotten to, it's like, all right, like, at first it was really exciting just to go to a new park. And then now that I've been all to, like, the different parks,
Yeah.
it's like, all right, let's see what it's like to play with a shotgun or a sniper
Exactly.
here.
Then you start making up challenges for yourself.
Yep.
You're like, oh, let's
Make
do
it
that.
You want to always make it new and fresh and exciting.
Yeah.
How do I do that now?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
I've
what
done
kind
that.
of.
I've done that. I haven't done that.
Yeah.
It's fun, like, I guess, when you have the one gun dialed in and you're just destroying people because you know exactly where it drops and blah, 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 and all that.
This is not fun anymore.
But then at some point you're like, how many times can I go to the same field, same gun, same everything?
Yeah.
Like, you need something a little different, so.
Nothing to me is more fun than when you get to go with a buddy and it's just like, mid-game, it's like, hey, that gun looks fun. And you just kind of hand them over and, like, you just go out there and play. That's always so fun. It's
But
like,
you gotta strap the cameras on it.
that's the worst.
Do you have an Allen key with you?
Metric.
Yeah.
But like when you're out at the field, and I've had my batteries die so many times, and like people will let you like borrow pistols and
Yeah.
stuff, and it's like, all right, like let's just figure it out. Like let's just like have fun with it.
Yeah, problem solved.
Yeah.
I do have nightmares of me being at the field and I just had the most amazing run and my cameras are not on. Like literally I've had nightmares where I woke up and I'm like, why didn't I bring the cameras? Why would I not bring them? I just got like a 5 kill streak or something. I'm like, why? And
Nightmares,
I'm like, literally
need some
nightmares.
See, we've actually brought you here today to talk about
this is an intervention.
First step is to admit that you have a
I
problem.
did.
Okay.
There we go.
Nightmares.
I definitely feel you, like, because there'll be sometimes that like I just want to go play, and then like after the game, it's like beep, beep. It's not there.
yeah.
It's not there.
That sinking feeling, the
Yeah.
hot air in your chest that rises. No, I didn't record that. And then you're like, can I do it with the selfie and just the zoom cam? Can I couple this together? Your brain starts racing.
Like whenever you're in the middle, I'm sure you've had cameras die on you, where you'll be in the middle of the game, sure, beep, 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 beep.
Yeah.
Why am I even here?
Exactly. How will people know I had an
going
amazing
home.
time if I can't tell them I had an amazing time?
Can't share it.
Exactly.
Because no one wants to just watch me like sit on there and be like, hey, I had a great game. I'll see you guys in the next
I will
video.
take your word
Like,
for it.
it's completely accurate gun. So Sonny, as we said before, Tac City is at this point the home of Speed QB. What did you think when you started to see players start to show up in that style, when you started to see them change their play style more from like the camouflage and the boots to like Nike sneakers?
Well, this started like back in Old Tac, like I want to say like 2008. That was kind of like the core of the business at that point. To be honest with you, a lot of the it was like almost like a niche. A lot of the so-called advanced players were always that style. Very few of our hardcore regulars were camouflaged and methodical because. Old Tac City at South of Monterey was a real small field. It was, I think, it was the field itself was about 15,000 square feet. For us, that's small, and for a style of play to not be fast like Speed QB would be tough. You wouldn't be able to have much ground in there to be able to kind of play your style. So everybody kind of adapted to in your face, fast, or whatever. It just, I mean, we've always tried to welcome all styles. And with having a bigger building now, it's easier for us to do that. But also being open 7 days a week, it helps us as well. Meaning, even though a lot of people see us as only the home of Speed QB, people don't realize we do a lot of other things besides Speed QB. And what I always tell people is we have a lot of rules for the general pub, but we have times and places, days, and time set aside for different styles of play and different, skill sets.
Yeah.
So even though we kind of grew up with Speed QB, we're more than just Speed QB.
Definitely.
And it's exciting just to see a different style and how Speed QB seems to be the brand ambassador for Airsoft in general from the United States. I mean, Japan, all these different countries that are just mimicking the Speed QB players here.
Worldwide.
That tells you something, right? it's just exciting. It really is.
Brain Exploder, going forward, it seems like you were saying earlier, like people do like unboxings, there's the cinematic edit, there's the like, I don't even think I'm watching an Airsoft video, it's just so edited at this point.
Yeah.
I think I've seen you do so many different types of videos. What's next for you in your channel?
VR.
360 only.
I don't know. I think I'm trying to make it a little more homely. I know that's a horrible word to use when like describing a video, but I always used to like write out when I would narrate a video. I'd write out the scripts and I try to get all, oh hey, oh I shot that guy or whatever. Oh this gun shoots great and blah blah blah. Now I'm just like kind of watching my video and just giving you the sort of play by play in real time. So it's a little more relatable. It's kind of like I'm telling you in person. I did this like I think the last video I put out, and I think it's a lot of information coming out, and it's coming out like in, because when I read a script it sounds like I'm reading a script versus when I'm just kind of talking about what happened. So I'm sort of going the opposite of the trend, trying to go more like down to earth, like hey, we're just talking,
Kind of
here's the fact.
conversational.
Yeah, exactly, kind of like this more than I'm just like
Make sure I cover that point,
Trying
that
to-
point, that point.
oh,
yeah, and I'm not
didn't
trying to
see
shoot
it
an
there.
infomercial. I'm trying to just shoot more like a a chat of some
Your
sort.
honest initial reaction to whatever you're doing. At that
Yeah,
moment.
just I might do like a couple takes and then take where I use the most uhs or the least uhs
Yeah.
and the least so's and then kind of put that together, and it's more approachable. I think I'm not, because some people I think when they see these polished videos, it just seems, if you get into a sport or if you get into making videos, it seems so far fetched. It's starting to look like a Hollywood movie, and you just feel like
Too
I'm
polished.
never gonna be there. So I think it'd be good to have that kind of more approachable format where they just look at it and they go, okay, this looks fun. Let me try either the sport or let me try editing. And I think there's room for that as well, and I guess time will tell if if
Yeah.
this goes anywhere.
I think that's definitely a good direction to go. Because like you said, like a lot of people, like their content has got more cold over time. And so having that person, it's like, you can comment and Brain Exploder will get back to you.
Oh, yeah.
Like that's his video. It's not like you're just watching an Airsoft video with Brain Exploder. It's Brain Exploder's video.
Yeah, people
Like,
don't
it's-
realize
yeah.
it's like it's usually a one-man production. All these things, it's like the guy goes and films, he's playing, he's editing, he's narrating, he's posting it, he's doing the thumbnail. It's all just so when you put a comment, there's not some social media team that's going to get back to you with some generic answer. Like, please check out our website for
department will get back
Q&A.
to you.
Yeah, it's going to be the same dude
Someone-
that did all the other stuff. That's gonna
Someone
talk
from
to
our
you.
department will get back to you.
Please hold.
Exactly.
Yes.
So I think approachability, maybe that's gonna. I feel like I'm figuring this out on this
Yeah.
show right now, but it's like that's sort of my thing is approachability. Like the videos are gonna be chill, the gameplay's chill, the facts, whatever. Do what you will with it, and if you post a comment, like you said, I'll probably reply to you directly.
Yeah.
So that hopefully that's something that brings people in a different way.
That's awesome. So what do we have coming up here with Tac City?
Wow. What do we do? What do we? We have a lot of different things in the works. Well, for now we have SHOT Show coming up
Yeah.
later on in the month.
You guys exhibiting? Or you,
No. We're walking around and seeing what's new and exciting. Before that, next weekend, I'm going to Atlanta for the Battle Arena U.S. Championships.
Yeah. It's exciting stuff.
Yeah, SYG's representing at Los Angeles. And we have 3-4 other teams from across the country that will be representing as well. And the winner goes to Finland for the World Championships.
I can
Yeah.
ask you a side question on that.
Sure.
It's advertised as a Milsim event, the whole battle arena. But you guess who's going to win that whole thing?
Well,
Yeah.
that's true. But now, to me, looking how the competition, the rules are very Milsim-like. But I say it's kind of like a hybrid between Milsim and Speed QB, meaning there's a lot of Milsim rules, but you can approach it with the aggression and speed of Speed QB.
Yeah.
Right? At our event, we had some Milsim teams that played and did really well, just didn't happen to win. A lot of strategy as far as the bank robbers end of things. I don't know if you're familiar with the scenario, but it's a 5v5 bank robbers versus cops or SWAT, and then they switch roles. And then from those two different games, whoever has the most gold bars when they play the robbers role wins the game. Simple as that. But a lot of strategy on the robbers side of it is how to get as many of those 200 gold bars to the extraction point within 5 minutes.
Yeah.
And to see how different teams approached that was really interesting because there's strategy involved with that. one of the teams that didn't win but had the highest count was Team Yeet. They had 187 of the 200 gold bars
Yeah.
extracted in one game, which is amazing considering that most of the teams average about 100, 120 gold bars per game. 187 is like crazy.
Yeah.
But anyways, the guys were to fill up duffel bags and relay them over.
Yeah.
One guy would be in charge of just taking them himself. I mean, just different ways of approaching it. So there's strategy involved. They're only allowed 600 BBs per player. See, the SWAT teams, they all get one respawn. The robbers do not.
Yeah.
It's a 5-minute game. So there's some elements to it, but they don't really totally like just restrict you completely where you have to.
I think at this point in
exactly.
like airsoft competition, you can't win as a Milsim team if you don't adapt somewhat to the faster style of play. And as a Speed QB team, like there's a lot of corners that aren't checked in the Speed QB tournament, which is more linear. But if you're looking at different angles and stuff like that, you have to take into account all those other things.
I think a Speed QB team can adapt more to Milsim than vice versa.
It's much easier.
Now they don't want to hear that, but that's
No.
Yeah.
This is no more intense than
right.
room
Slowing
to room
things down
fighting.
they can handle. Trying to speed stuff up is harder.
There you
to
go.
Well, some
do.
people can't physically do it.
Yeah.
I mean, they could try to do it, but it's
It's not gonna happen.
yeah. For me, I think when you go indoors, you pretty much have to go Speed QB. First of all, like real life Milsim or whatever. Milsim's based on supposedly real life, but in real life you don't get to respawn, so you can't
Yeah.
play fast and loose with your one life.
Yeah.
So in that sense, maybe
Pretty
you
methodical.
will. Yeah, you gotta make sure you don't die as like number 1 through 10, and then everything else as after that.
Right.
Versus when you play in airsoft, it's get 3 guys and get killed. Great run.
Next game.
Yeah, exactly. That in real life, you get 3 guys, you get killed, you're still dead. There's no KD ratio or whatever. So
Risk reward is kind of skewed. Like,
Yeah, so when you go
I don't really
indoors-
take that risk for a little reward. What's the big deal?
Yeah.
In real life, you're like, no, I need that much reward for the the risk can outweigh the reward
Yeah.
because it's my life.
Yeah, because in airsoft, I know, like, I'll be in a room and it's like, there's 80 guys outside of here. I can't wait to go get them. But in real life, I'm terrified.
Yeah.
Of course, yeah.
Like, you got 80 dudes out there with guns, but I'm like, I'm going to do a sweep.
yeah,
Like-
coming out like, please don't shoot me.
Get scar-faced. Yeah.
Yeah.
Your only hope.
Scar. So, Brain Exploder, where can people find your videos?
Well, check out YouTube. Search Brain Exploder. Hopefully, I'm the first one on that. Same thing, Instagram, Brain Exploder. And if you're looking for any of those 3D printed mounts, Brain Exploder Creations. And if you want zoom cameras, brainexplodermerch.com.
Yeah. Thank you guys so much for being on this. Please, guys, don't forget to like and subscribe. And if you want to check out more Call Your Hits merch, it'll be down in the description. I'm Mark Soka, Tactical Airsoft. This is Brain Exploder. And this is Sonny from Tac City, signing out.